Now with 6, the latest on a dispute between the city of Coffeyville and the firefighters union over hazard pay. Plus, the Kansas legislator overrides the governor's veto on the trans bathroom bill, and what a new study shows about the homeless population in Harrison, Arkansas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Coffeyville, Kansas firefighters say they are getting fed up over a dispute with the city. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Jalen Banks. Our own Amber Jenkins joins us in the studio with more.
Thank you, Jalen. The city of Coffeyville and the fire department has been trying to settle the pay rate for the hazmat team. Last month, Fire Chief Kenny Ward was allegedly fired by the city manager over disagreements about the double time pay for the hazmat team. After weeks of no comment during the last city council meeting, city manager Mark Hall addressed the hazmat pay after the fire department walked out the meeting. Hall said the city will pay the hazmat team on a straight time pay and will pass on the straight time pay reimbursement from the state fire marshal. According to Coffeyville, the hazmat pay contract with the state fire marshal only allows straight time pay for members on the hazmat team. The president of the Coffeyville Fire Union says the department will no longer attend commissioner meetings. Now they are focusing on starting fresh with the next group of county commissioners in 2024.
Now we can't sit back and be quiet. I mean, our honor and integrity, and I mean, it's everything that a firefighter character is off of, he attacked.
This is stemming from incorrect paperwork submitted by an unauthorized firefighter that set the hazmat team pay at double time. The city manager claims the paperwork was tampered with. However, the fire department and state fire marshal said it was an unintentional mistake.
Thank you, Amber. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us with the first look at the weather.
Yeah, and we've had lots of clouds today, even a few sprinkles and light showers, especially down to the south. Let's zoom in on some of the heavier activity down in southern Delaware County, just to the north and east of Cloud Creek and Cold Cord south of Jay near Sycamore. Also now starting to move over into western parts of Benton County around Gentry and Decatur. But that is about it. We're going to be seeing more showers in our forecast, but the showers that we've had so far have been primarily on the light side. I wish we had more precipitation with this event, but most of the heavy rain has been down in Oklahoma. A few places got close to an inch of rainfall, here shown in the green in southern Berry County, but that is about it. And we're expecting, like I said, more showers this evening, but they're going to be decreasing as we go through the overnight hours, with temperatures dropping through the 50s all the way down to around 45 degrees by morning. And looking down the lane, we do have some more showers in the forecast. Cool mornings for the weekend, dry period coming up, and then Thursday some more thunderstorms. I'll have more details in just a little while.
Kansas lawmakers have enacted what may be the most sweeping transgender bathroom law in the U.S. The Republican-controlled legislature today overrode the Governor Laura Kelly's veto of the measure. At least 8 other states have enacted laws preventing transgender people from using the restrooms associated with their gender identities, but most of them apply to schools. The Kansas law applies also to locker rooms, prisons, domestic violence shelters, and rape crisis centers. The new law will take effect July 1st. A new study shows the number of people homeless in Harrison, Arkansas is on the decline, but some living there don't see it that way. Elizabeth Ban-Mitri reports some local believes that asking for handouts are not necessarily needy.
A couple of places in town that I don't go by myself, and definitely don't go after dark, just because it's kind of like the hangouts.
Brandy Forkey lives in Harrison and says it seems like there's a large homeless population with several hangout spots.
And you've got like one right here by Murphy's, and then you've got one on this corner, like right in the middle of the road, and then you've got one on this corner by Arby's.
Forkey says the number of homeless seem to have increased, but a new study from the Arkansas Balance of States states otherwise. The data collected in January shows 21 people in Harrison are homeless.
Very encouraged to see these numbers come back in.
Those numbers show 8 of those 21 are chronically homeless, 12 have mental health illness, 12 substance use disorders, and 9 are survivors of domestic violence. William Tollett works with homeless at the House of Hope. He says the numbers are down thanks to COVID-related funding. More homeless are off the street, but more people, panhandlers, seem to be taking over many busy intersections.
Yes, I'm going to say probably less than 15% of those individuals are homeless. The biggest part of those individuals have housing. Over 70% of them have some type of income.
Tollett says it's important people don't give in to the panhandlers.
In Harrison, there are signs going up that actually is going to be discouraging people from giving money, but instead to contact the local charity or give that money to the charity of their choice that actually can work with those individuals.
Many people in the area are asking if any ordinances can be put in place to stop panhandling. Cities can make some rules about panhandlers. For example, they can make it law you can't step into the road, but they won't stop it completely. That's because a U.S. Supreme Court decision several years ago made panhandling protected, saying it was free speech. McDonald County students today helped combat hunger. Volunteers with Meals of Hope and McDonald County Future Farmers of America students packed 26,000 meals for people in need. The students worked in assembly lines for 1-hour shifts before switching out. They were in charge of packing the meals, weighing them, measuring ingredients, and preparing them for delivery.
This is what I love doing. I love community service. I love dedicating my time for other things if I know it can better our community or better other people in our area. And so that's why I'm here. That's why we kind of put this together.
The meals will be distributed to students in the school and members of the community who are facing food insecurity, as well as food pantries in the area. Some Crowder College students today worked on their graffiti skills as part of a school event. The students are putting together a graffiti project on the wall of the LC Placer Community Center in Neosho. Officials say it lets students exercise their creativity while brightening up the community.
Technique-wise, I think there's a lot of things to learn from it. I think that it gets kids into art. It's very much linked with the culture, linked with historically hip hop. Now it's kind of hype beast, all these kind of things. Like it's tied with more things that I feel like they have experience with.
The students worked on the graffiti wall for 3 hours today. Coming up, how some local libraries are celebrating National Library Week. Plus, it's a tradition to hold a torch run to kick off the Olympics, and the annual Special Olympics events are no different. We'll learn about the local tradition. This week marks National Library Week. Libraries across the 4 states encourage you to pop up and grab a book or two, and maybe thank the staff for everything they do for the community. This week not only celebrates the books, but also the people who work in the libraries. The theme for National Library Week is There's So Much More to the Story. And stories fill libraries, floor to ceiling and wall to wall. KOAM's Carrie Worthen has more.
National Library Week is an opportunity for libraries to make connections with people. We celebrate libraries. We celebrate people that work in libraries. And of course, we always want to try to encourage more use of libraries by our local communities.
Libraries are full of stories in a variety of ways, from books, audiobooks, ebooks, and more.
Do everything from trying to tutor, provide information literacy skills to people, spaces for people to do the work, particularly our students as well as our faculty.
The theme for National Library Week is There's So Much More to the Story. Pitt State's archivist Steve Cox knows just how much more.
There's a lot here. We've got a really large storage area where everything is kept in a climate-controlled environment. But to really focus on some of the hidden collections that we have, we've got a very, very large collection, 2 collections actually, of pulp science fiction books written from the 40s up through the 90s. But our strengths are the political history of Southeast Kansas and the mining history.
Cox has been with the library for the past 8 years and is now retiring at the end of the school year, ending this chapter but starting a new one.
My wife and I are going to do a lot of traveling. We've done a lot of domestic traveling, but we're hoping to get overseas. Our first trip shortly after I retire is going to England and France, so we're looking forward to that.
And if the only way you can travel is through books, Pitt State's Axe Library has just that for you.
Axe Library is just a great place to work.
The library is open 7 days a week and open to anyone in the public who has access. A member of the Pittsburgh Police Department didn't let the rain prevent him from keeping an annual tradition alive. Lieutenant Chris Moore ran a torch from the Law Enforcement Center to Carney Smith Stadium. That torch represents the beginning of a couple of Special Olympics events in Pittsburgh. Lieutenant Moore has been doing the torch run for several years.
For us as officers, getting able to run the torch to a Special Olympics event is great because we get to see all the smiles, do all the high fives. We get to hang out with the athletes, and then they know that we're there for them. So we're going to support them in their endeavors, and then they support us in ours.
One of those events, the Youth Regional Track and Field Competition, happened this morning. The Southeast Track and Field event will happen next Wednesday at Erie High School. A little later, a Riverton High School basketball standout signs to continue his career at the collegiate level.
Well, we've had a few showers here and there. Are more in our forecast? Well, I'll have the answer when we come back. Well, we've had lots of clouds today, even a few sprinkles and showers here and there, but I wish we had more rainfall to talk about. Let's take a look outside this morning at Seneca, Missouri with Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. As we go through the afternoon, you can see the clouds hung tough and also some scattered sprinkles causing the pavement to get a little bit wet there. This afternoon, we started to see a peak or two of sun, but now the clouds have moved back in as we start to move to the overnight hours. We will see a little bit of clearing, but we have more showers in our forecast. Allergies today were not too bad, 1.0 out on a scale of 12, and then tomorrow will be a little bit worse, but it's still moderate at 8.1 on that scale. Let's take a look at the almanac. We were only 57 for the high today after starting out at 51, so it was a very short thermometer. Normals are 72 and 50. Check out the records low, 34 back in 1988, and then just 1 year later, 88 was the record high. So you can see what a difference a year can make. And rainfall this month so far has been less than 3/4 of an inch, and that means we're about 3.6 inches below normal just for the month of April, and about 3¼ inches so far for the year. And of course, the drought has started to expand again back into western Missouri. It's been really bad in southeastern Kansas for quite some time, and hopefully we're going to start to see some more rainfall. But unfortunately, so far for this month, normally we have about 5 inches. But like I said, we've had less than 3/4 of an inch, and that means if we end up right now at 73 hundredths, that will put us as the third driest April ever in Joplin history, and that's not the kind of records we like to see. Let's take a look at the radar. Right now we do have a few showers down to the south and southern Delaware County, but we're also watching a storm system in southwestern Nebraska and northwest Kansas. That is moving towards us, but it's going to take a while before it gets here, so most of the rain chances are going to be increasing tomorrow night into the overnight hours. That's when the rain chances will start to increase across our area. Rainfall amounts, I wish were going to be heavier, but unfortunately, it's not going to really be all that much. Generally around 1/4 of an inch or less, higher amounts down to the south where they could pick up maybe 1/2 an inch down in northwestern Arkansas. Temperatures right now are generally in the 50s and 60s as they've been all afternoon with a light easterly wind. And as we go through the forecast tonight, we're going to see lows dropping down into the mid-40s. But notice here comes the showers back towards the north and west. We'll start to move in across our area during the afternoon tomorrow in the western sections with highs in the 60s. Then as we go through the evening, those showers will start to move across our area into the overnight. And by Saturday morning, lows will be in the 40s, especially up toward the north and west, where we'll see lower 40s there. And then Saturday afternoon looks pretty good. North winds with temperatures in the mid-60s. And then as we go into Sunday, we'll see lows generally in the lower 40s, maybe even a few upper 30s here and there in some isolated sheltered valleys. Over the next 7 days, rain chances are going to be pretty low. Tomorrow, 20%. That continues into Saturday morning, and then it turns dry Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with temperatures in the 60s and 70s. The next chance of storms next Thursday, and then it turns dry once again after that. So we really need some rainfall, but unfortunately there doesn't seem to be a whole lot in our forecast at this point.
I know that we need the rainfall, but it's hard for me not to get excited for that 5-day stretch we have next week.
Well, that's
Sunday
true.
through Wednesday.
Yeah, get out and enjoy it if you can. Might as well.
Hard not to. All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Sam. Don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Still ahead, Frontenac baseball aims to stay undefeated this afternoon at home against Galena. And Riverton High School standout Jamie Richardson signs to continue his basketball career at the next level. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Well, the Frontenac Raiders have been one of the best baseball teams in the state so far this season. The Raiders are 11-0. They've been dominant pretty much all the way through. Frontenac is scoring 9 runs per game. They already have 4 shutout wins. And tonight, Raiders aim to stay rolling, hosting a CNC doubleheader against Galena. In Game 1, Alex Williams on the mound for Frontenac with the swing and the miss in the top of the first. Bottom of the inning, Logan Myers on first for the Raiders after a walk. Takes off and gets the steal. Myers in scoring position for the Raiders. And moments later, he's on third for Mario Mangini. He sends the first pitch he sees into left. Myers scores and Frontenac goes up 1-0. Low scoring game in Game 1, but the Raiders take it in the end 3-1. The St. Louis Cardinals finish up their 4-game series with the San Francisco Giants this afternoon. The Cardinals try to avoid the sweep after dropping each of the first 3 games in San Francisco. St. Louis has lost 7 of 9 coming into the day. In this one today, though, Cardinals win in a shutout 6-0. Paul DeJong goes 2 for 4 with a homer and a pair of RBIs. Next up for the Cards, they open a 3-game series against the Dodgers beginning tomorrow night. The Kansas City Royals also in action tonight, kicking off a 4-game set on the road against the Minnesota Twins. The Royals have lost 10 of their last 12. That one starts here in just a few minutes at 6:40. Zach Greinke is on the mound tonight for Kansas City, looking for his first win of the season. Riverton High School standout Jamie Richardson signs today to continue his basketball career in college. Richardson signs this afternoon to stay in Southeast Kansas and play at Coffeyville Community College. He's an all-state player and a multiple-time All-CNC pick, including being a unanimous first-team All-Conference selection this season. Richardson also leaves Riverton as a member of the 1,000 Point Club.
Honestly, for me, it was the atmosphere. They were really straight up as soon as I got there, and they've had a very winning, successful program. It being at home, I can still see everyone who supported me. They can still make a lot of games, a lot of home games and stuff, so that's really good. That's another good thing about it.
He's obviously a really good player, really strong kid, a really good basketball player, but also there's an event tonight. I think it's a football event in Kansas City. I think it's an important one. They're going to pick some players.
Yeah,
the NFL draft tonight in Kansas City. Obviously, the Chiefs, pick pretty late
as of right now, they do.
As of right now, but things change on draft night, pretty quickly.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm sure we'll have updates tonight at 9 and 10. And that's it for sports. We're back with more after this. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We'll have more on how McDonald County students combat hunger by packing thousands of meals. Plus, the Joplin Chamber of Commerce hosts its annual banquet. And a look at the potential impact of a bill in Missouri to restrict gender-affirming care for minors. Those stories and a lot more on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Sam, you've talked about the rainfall that we need. Any hope of there being some more? What do you have for us?
Not in the foreseeable future. We just have a few scattered showers tonight, more showers tomorrow night, and then as we head towards the weekend, looking pretty good. Temperatures in the 60s, mostly sunny skies, and that continues all next week up until Thursday when we have another round of thunderstorms possible, and then it turns dry once again after that. So we really need a good soaking rain, but unfortunately, it's not in the cards at this point.
Yeah, not so much good on the weather end of things, but as far as sports goes, when you see a clear forecast, you're probably excited.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Especially during baseball and softball season, definitely like it when it's dry and sunny. But I'm excited about this. Put together this story today. It will air tomorrow. Got with St. Paul powerlifter Jenny Vitt, senior there at St. Paul High School. She's a 3-time national champion. We're going to have that story right here tomorrow night.
All right, I know we're definitely all looking forward to it. And thank you all for watching, and we'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.